I was born in an era, I was raised in an era where black love, black unity, and black power was real. I lived 6 blocks away where Malcolm X was killed in the Audubon. I was raised by street scientists, street intellectuals like members of the 5%, gods of earth, who took their lessons from the Nation of Islam. I was raised in an era with people like, again, Malcolm, Farrakhan. I was raised in an era where we was raised watching television such as Beretta, you know, and the song, the theme song used to be, if you can't do the crime, don't do it. We was raised in an era where morals and principles and your word was bond. We had men in our lives that would literally sit us down and school us. So when we talk about the state of our youth today, we have to look at the history. What were they exposed to? Because we become a product of our environment. We become reflections of our role models and mentors. Our youth today, they would lack that. They were deprived of that. They were deprived of it because there was a war declared against the black youth in my era. Even in the era of the Black Panthers, who had to deal with the COINTEL program, where they had set up a manifest to say we want to squash all black nationalist parties to prevent the rise of a Messiah. They feared back then, and they fear it now. They fear a smart, young, powerful, energized, fearless black man, youth. We become products of our environment. And so when the men was taken out of the homes of the black family, it created children, young black men, boys, without fathers or role models, mentors, examples. And so we have young boys running around with no guidance. Who they teachers? The drug dealer on the corner. Who he ain't about nothing. He not trying to help the community. He just milking the community. Who are they role models? The rappers who never bust a gun in their life, never sold a vial of crack, drugs, never. Probably never had a fist to cuff. But he on record rapping about the drug life that he never lived. So you got the youth hearing this, and now what they doing? They emulating it. They're imitating them. So now they want to do what the rappers is doing, that they listen to on the radio, in their CDs or streaming. Now they want to be like them. But the difference between the rapper and these youngsters that's on the streets, the youngsters on the street is about it. They gonna bust that gun that you talking about on your record that you never bust. They gonna cock AK-47 and let off some shots and don't care who get hit. They're going to run up in your crib and take your work, take your money. So when you talk about the state of our youth today, it's just a repeating cycle. They following trends. They're following the only examples that they have, which is our rappers who talking about sipping on syrup, who talking about Molly, Percocet. I hear, what's the dude name? Future. He talking about Molly, Percocet. I hear he don't even use it. And he getting all this money. Hypocrites, man. They on these records talking about a life that they never lived. They say, I'm from the street. If you from the street and you made it out of the street and you on your record still talk, what have you learned? So we want to talk about the state of our youth. You got to look at the reflection. Me and you. What we have done and what we haven't done. What we did, what we have done, and what we're doing. So just recently, Nick Cannon just did a special on YouTube. Him and Professor Griff. Profound, one of the most educating, most uplifting, enlightening interview I've seen ever. Gave it up. Professor Griff, another one from my era. Public Enemy. I was raised on that. Fight the power. Up the police. Ice Cube. Niggas with attitudes. Those were our role models back then. They would talk about some stuff. Constitute the right to freedom of speech. We were talking some talk. But our youth today lack that. The music that they getting was not positive, uplifting, and talk about the conditions. They talking about getting high. They talking about smoking on bongs. Back then, what's them things called? What's them things called? Hookah. Back then, a hookah was a crack pipe. Now we pull up on a hookah like it's cool. Man, that was a crack pipe. You was a crackhead. You was a dope fiend. They got us so medicated that we can't even see reality. What's really going on. And that's what they want, to keep us weak and docile. But see, the people waking up now. COVID-19, a respiratory disease. Now everybody's saying that you got to have your immune system strong. So now people are eating healthy. So now what they're trying to do now, they're trying to force us. Lock us in the crib. Force us to take, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm getting pumped up. Let me calm down. Vaccines. Another thing. You want to stick these drugs in us to keep us asleep. So we don't deal with the reality that we're faced with. Farrakhan spoke not too long ago. FOI.com, I believe, or FOI.org. Go check it out. Profound. He gave it up again. We got these leaders talking, telling us we got to take that information, that knowledge, and put it to work like we did in my era. In Malcolm's era. Martin's era. I love the youth. Don't get it twisted. They got mad energy. They fearless. They don't fear nothing. They smart. They exposed to so much at such an early age. We had to read encyclopedias. 20, 30 volumes of encyclopedias I had to read. Had to read dictionaries to get it. Now all they got to do is look on YouTube and they got it instantly. I'm not going to preach or advocate the scared straight method. Because these kids, again, they not scared. They worry about, all right, I've sold drugs. All right, so what? I killed that nigga. So what? Ain't nobody gonna stop me. I'm holding court in the street. They deal with it, the repercussions, when it come to them. If so be it, they get locked up and they facing the life sentence, 10 to life, 25 to life, if they facing it, whatever. I'll deal with it. Some of them snitching. Snitching has become a thing now. Why? Because they don't have morals and principles. They don't care about nobody but themselves. I'm gonna save myself. I'm in an era where friends became family, and family was all you had. Your neighbor could spank you. I'm from an era where black power, black unity, and black love was real. Where black lives mattered for real.